Hi guys, welcome back to Dave in the Life. Today is Saturday, 15th of February 2020. So yeah, today I'm actually at Sham Shui Po. Sham Shui Po is actually one of the average poorest districts in Hong Kong. Today we're gonna go take a walk around at what the street is like, what the atmosphere is like on the ground. Okay? So without further ado, let's get this going. So if we look around, let me just switch around the camera. Okay. So if we look around, you can see that the people haven't really changed from yesterday. The shops are still open, even all the sales are going up. You can see a lot of the traffic is happening, people waiting, lining up to go somewhere. I guess usually there's no work on a Saturday, or maybe some work, but definitely not on a Sunday. So tomorrow we'll probably see less people going to work, but right now it's around 5 in the afternoon, so I don't think they're going to work. They're probably going to meet up with their families and have a dinner. So this is still happening, people are still gathering up, still meeting up for dinner, things like that. So take a look into one of the markets. So this is not a supermarket. This is not a supermarket. Rather, it's like a regular market, a wet market. So in one of the averagely poorest districts in Hong Kong. So this is the market. So as you can see, they're still fairly busy. A lot of activities with seafood. These are fresh. Okay, these are fresh seafood and some other dried foods. So usually the ground floor are the seafoods. Okay, so as you can see, okay, fairly lively. They're costing 100 a dish. So the 100 is actually the whole dish. Okay, the whole dish. So is it expensive? I wouldn't say it's above. I wouldn't say it's above the average. Okay, so there's some fish here, some frogs, weird stuff going on. Okay, so it's probably business as usual here. Okay, so again, before I get to the mall, I'm gonna take a quick look at the local pharmacy and check out what the situation there is like. So here, this is a pharmacy, one of the pharmacies. Okay, so there's no queue. That's good. There's no queue, and a lot of the supplies in the front are not tissues. Okay, so I don't know. I guess so people are still buying up tissue. Yeah. So, but then again, everything else is in good supply. So you do have to wonder why the people are buying up tissues, right? I mean, I can picture it being one of the necessity, but say so is the other stuff, in terms of hygiene. But okay, let's start to make our way to the mall. The business owners cost you 200,000 to 400,000 Hong Kong per month. So here you probably expect under 200,000 a month. So all these shops, okay, and they're still opening. They're still staffing people, of course, with face masks. They're still functioning as small businesses. So these are the small businesses. Of course, even in a 13 mall, along with small businesses, you do get some chains like Fortress, Mannings. These are one of the chains or retail chains in Hong Kong, which can exist in tier 3, tier 2, and tier 1 malls. Okay. All right. So here, I'm gonna take the escalator. These ones are actually closed. Okay, these are rented out. Okay, so this one's open. So selling clothes. This one's selling some socks. So these are some of that are open. Okay, so this one's open. I'm just gonna find an entrance. So this one's open. So this is like a very small type where, you know, if you're maybe a teenager or in your 20s, then you come into here and then you find something cheap, things like that. So seems everyone, it's all open, huh? Contrary to, you know, the virus and things like that. Everyone's open with face masks, of course. So looks good. Okay, so here are some of the shops which are closed or which are not rented out. It doesn't mean that they closed. Of course, it also does not mean that it was due to the virus outbreak, because sometimes, or not all of these divisions or apartments or blocks have been rented out. Okay. Okay, so the next stop. I'm gonna go back to finding a news agent to quickly go through some of the news, and then we can conclude our check today for day in the life. Okay. Before I do that, let's quickly check out what's going on here. So I think this side is new. Okay, this side is new. So this again is a fortress. Still open. Nothing. You know. Okay. Here, Manning's. Yep. So as expected, they are all open with some shops closed. So as you can see, just to walk around, you can see, you know, 10 to 20% vacancy, but otherwise, business as usual. Okay, so I'm gonna stop the recording until we get to the news agent. Okay, so here we are at the news agent. Again, the Oriental Daily. Mainly we're looking at some of the... Okay, so it's basically saying they're incompetent at fighting off the virus and helping out. Okay, so let's look at the other ones. So it's Apple Daily. Okay, so saying, okay, in Taiwan they already have a forced quarantine or voluntary quarantine escapee, voluntary escapee, and 4 of the people also escaped, and they are currently under pursuit from the government or from the police. I don't know which department's responsible to chase those people down, whether it's the police, the Department of Health, or immigration, or whatnot. Okay. So Singdo, yeah, again repeating the information from yesterday that the government's injecting 250 billion Hong Kong dollar into the economy. Okay, so again the next one also the same. Yeah, so there you have it. So just nothing really changed a lot from yesterday, as opposed to, you know, all the messages we heard. So I think there's no sudden spike of new information coming up, other than we are seeing the narrative where people are escaping the voluntary quarantine. And of course, this method of voluntary quarantine has been in question from the pro-democracy camp. I think even some of the pro-establishment camp too. They're saying how effective really is a voluntary quarantine. How are the government tracking them? Okay, so this raised a lot of questions. Again, so far the government haven't provided a response which is adequate to the people in question. Okay, so I think I will stop the recording for today, and you guys have a good one. I'll see you again tomorrow.